What's good, Charles? Your man, DL Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast, man. How y'all feeling? Happy Monday. I know I threw you guys a loop. I have a thumbnail out there that I was going to do. I was going to talk about Joe Rogan today. I was going to talk about Joe Rogan's latest Netflix special, his 1 hour. Had the thumbnail up and everything because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk about this. But about 10, 15 minutes ago, I was just kind of chilling in front of the TV, looking at my feed, and I found this quick clip of Chris Williamson interviewing Dan Bazarian, right? Sorry for messing up the names. But Bazarian was talking about, they were both talking about dating and do's and don'ts and stuff like that. And, you know, I thought this would be a much better topic. So we're gonna talk comedy tomorrow. We'll talk about Joe Rogan tomorrow, but today we're gonna talk about the man, the myth, the legend himself, Dan Bazarian. So let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed, man. So yeah, we're gonna talk about why guys are out here struggling with women. We're gonna touch on some red pill manosphere talking points. Dan Bazarian, I would not consider him red pill. You might, if you want to, you can call him red pill adjacent. Call him whatever you want to call him, but he's a guy who has certainly figured it out when it comes to womanizing. When it comes to just going out there doing his thing. I'm not gonna get into his whole story. Because it veers off into different directions. But he is a multimillionaire. He is an entrepreneur. I think Ignite is his brand. Of course, there's been some talk about how he came into his money, which was family money, and how his family managed to acquire that money and what he's been doing with that money. I mean, it is what it is. I never knew who he was. I again, you guys know I didn't fall into this world, you know, until recently. And again, not that Dan is, you know, red pill or a manosphere or anything like that, but he's definitely a man's man. He's the kind of guy that other men want to be. They want that lifestyle. He's constantly surrounded by beautiful women. Like he's living a great life. He has that lifestyle. First time I ever saw like a 6-wheeled Mercedes G-Wagon truck thing, it was his. This is when I was working at Van Nuys air traffic controller. The Ignite brand was on. I think he had a G4, a Gulfstream 4, I think it was. Maybe it was a Global Express. I can't remember, but it, you know, his corporation had a very nice business jet. You know, when you get into Gulfstreams and Global Expresses, you're at an elite level. Shit, if you get yourself an airplane, you're at elite level. All right, let's put it to you there. If you get yourself a Mooney or a Cherokee, in my opinion, you're at an elite level. If your airplane has retractable gear, right, you up there with the big boys. But this guy has, you know, his corporation had this jet all branded out. I mean, it was either, you know what? I think it was a G4? I could be wrong. I think it was a G5. It might have been a G5. Or like I said, a Global Express. Very, very nice aircraft. And dude was always flying. He was always coming in and out. His vehicles we parked there, Lamborghinis, the high-end Mercedes, all that stuff. One day, like whenever that plane would come in, all of the younger controllers would grab binoculars, the young dudes. They would grab binoculars in the aircraft parked at the base of the tower. And they would be looking at him like, yep, that's him. And I'm like, one day I just had to ask them, like, who are y'all looking at? They were like, Dan Bazarian. And they start talking like, and I'm just sitting there, huh? Who the hell is that? And they could not believe I had no idea who he was. They couldn't believe it. And they broke it all the way down. They told me about him, like, oh, this is what he does, and this is what he's known for. And like, look at his Instagram. That's when his Instagram was like insane. The lifestyle, the pictures, the women. He was like, man, just check him out online. And so that was my introduction to Dan Bazarian. Now, say what you want about him. Say what you want about his family, in particular his father. Say what you want about their fortune. It is what it is. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. Do your own research. There's a lot out there. But the guy is living the life that most people dream of, right? Just keep it 100. And when it comes to women, I got to give him his due. I am certain he knows what he's talking about. And after, when I saw this clip, I'm like, oh yeah, we're definitely gonna break this down. Like, you're gonna break this down because he's given the truth. He's given the truth. We got brother Pitney in the Mr. Pitney building. What's good, fam? Please like and subscribe if you don't mind. Like the video, subscribe, share this stuff with someone, man. Anybody out there, any young guys out there or older guys out there who are struggling out here in this, sexual dating landscape, right? If you out here in the trenches and you're trying to figure out the sexual marketplace, check out this content. We used to cover all sorts of stuff from politics to finance to, current events and all that on our Really Want to Know podcast. But I'm really trying to just focus in now on, the sexual marketplace. I really want to help the bottom 80 guys, those guys who really struggle with women, those guys who don't truly understand what's going on and how the game has changed and is consistently changing. That's what we're trying to focus in on right now. And the reason I'm doing it is because I've been working with Fresh and Fit and the Fresh and Fit family, helping them set up an organization within their Castle Club platform, and which we call the city groups, where we're just putting it, we're just opening chapters all over the world in different cities where guys could come together, like-minded guys, and get help in all sorts of things, like just becoming better social creatures, getting their fitness together, getting their finance together, learning how to approach and, deal with women, how to start businesses, how to level up in their careers. That's what it's all about. We're in about 20 cities right now, in 5 countries. So we're here in America, we're in Canada, we're in Japan, we're in Australia, multiple cities there, but we're just running out of the continent itself. But we got guys all over Australia, Perth, Melbourne, Sydney. We're in United Kingdom. We're running it out of London. So we got guys, in the United Kingdom. We got guys in Germany. We got guys in Norway. We got guys in Romania, stuff like that. So we're officially 20 cities, but it's really unofficially, we're probably about 25, 30 cities. And growing. And what I've noticed helping these guys out is these dudes don't have a clue. Like, these guys really don't have a clue as to how this thing works. Yeah, they have no clue how this thing works out here. They're trying to get women and they don't get it, and they don't understand what women are looking for. They're trying to level up in the workplace. They don't get it. They don't know how to dress for success as far as their fashion goes. They don't, they're not smelling good. Their hygiene is bad. They don't know how to sell themselves. They don't know how to level up, maybe get that promotion or maybe get that better position, like a different job. They don't know how to do these things. So we're going to focus over here on that, trying to help them out. And Mr. Pitt, like Brother Penny saying, yeah, his Ignite brand is struggling. Yeah, that's out there. Like I said, do your own research on Brazilian. I'm starting to see him doing more and more podcasts. And I ain't gonna lie to you, his interview skills are getting better. Like, he's as before it was hard to interview him. He was like way laid back and quiet, not really saying much. He would mumble a lot, would be away from the microphone. But this interview seemed to be pretty solid. He's energetic, he's up. And maybe he's going to make a run at the Manosphere. Maybe he's going to come into this space. I know that he has a really good friend in Michael Sertain. So maybe he's going to kind of carve out his own portion of the Manosphere and help dudes level up. I don't know. Brother Pablo's in the building. What's up? Some men think because they have lots of money and deserve to spend more, many of those people go broke. Hey man, you gotta money does not grow on trees, right? I think in Bilzerian's case, I think his father has locked away money and has done things. I don't think that his father will allow him to run through all of the family fortune. Again, there's a cloud over how his father allegedly came into that fortune. Again, I'll let you guys do your own research on that. But when it comes to women, when it comes to womanizing, When it comes to just understanding female nature, yeah, I would definitely say that Dan Bilzerian knows what he's talking about. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to start with this interview is about 12 minutes, 12 and a half minutes long. And we're just going to break this down. And, I'm going to stop this. You know how we do when we do, break it down, do reactions or whatever. He says some good things. I've heard most of this, this clip. But I want, some of it I haven't heard yet. So we'll be stopping as we go. Pay close attention to what he's saying. Like so he uses, he likes to swear. A lot of the words are bleeped out, but just understand where he's coming from. Like he really knows what he's talking about, in my opinion. So let's just get into this.
What are the common assumptions, the biggest ones that are holding guys back when it comes to attracting women? And what are the reframes or the best strategies that you've deconstructed from yourself?
Okay, so the most common problems I would say would be some mindsets, like limiting beliefs is a big one. Like thinking like, oh, I'm not tall, so women aren't going to be attracted to me, or I'm not rich, so I can't get women, or like all these reasons why they're not attracted.
Do those things not matter?
No, they don't matter at all. Like at all. Like the things that actually can make a woman pursue you or chase you or be interested in you, like. Bill's a perfect example. He had all the things, not one, not two, not three. He had every single thing that guys think that they need to get women.
Plus a desert island.
Desert island with 36 girls. Like you couldn't get a better scenario. So like that is literal proof that like all these things,
still didn't get laid.
Exactly. That's not going to solve your problem, because here's a guy that had all those things and he still didn't do it. Right. And I have another sample of a bunch of guys in my fraternity that were short, that didn't have money, that weren't that smart, all this stuff, and they got a ton of pussy.
So you guys have heard me say on this platform over and over again, you don't have to be tall. You don't have to be over 6 feet. You don't have to be fit. Right? You don't have to be wealthy. You don't have to drive an exotic car or a very nice car or live in a very nice house. Those things help. Right? Don't get it twisted. They help. But it's not a guarantee it's going to get you to close the deal with some woman. Right? What is required? You need game. You need understanding. You need to know how this works. That's it. And that only comes through trial and error. That only comes through getting your reps. That only comes through going out there and actually engaging with women, talking to women, figuring out what works and what doesn't work. Every time I go out, I don't care if I'm just going to watch some music or something, like some live music, or if I'm going to a comedy event, or if I'm just going to hang out at a cigar bar or a regular bar or whatever, I'll talk to women. That's why they're there, right? I pay attention to what they're doing and how they move. I listen to the conversations going on around me. I love it when there is some bottom 80 Pookie Ray type dude up in there, right? That's just garbage. And he's just running numbers. He's just simply going up to every single woman and just running numbers. And he's, swinging a miss, right? But even that guy, after a while, will get into a conversation with the woman. And it's kind of like, okay, he's the blind squirrel that found the nut. But you have to pay attention, learn from others, learn from yourself. Like, all right, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. The stuff that some dudes say and get away with are crazy. You'll get to see the dudes who are handsome, who are confident, that are just saying whatever to these women. You're like, well, why are they just saying these random things to that girl? She's so beautiful. I would say this, that, and the third. The guy, like, he doesn't care because that's all he deals with. That's all he deals with is beautiful women. That's it. Right? That's all he deals with. So he can care less about her beauty. He might be looking for something else. Or he just might be like, I'm just trying to smash. I don't care. I got 10 women just like her lined up tonight. I don't care. Whereas these other dudes that come in and like, man, she's so beautiful. That's the only woman I would ever want. Now that woman is going to chase and tolerate all of the BS coming from the top tier dude, the Chad or whatever. And she ain't going to take none of your bullshit because you're coming in, putting her on her pedestal. That's a big problem. So like you said, being tall, being wealthy, all that kind of stuff. And it helps. But if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have any game, and most of all, if you don't have any confidence, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. She's going to run her game on you. You're going to wind up out of a bunch of money, out of a bunch of time. You done gave her a bunch of attention. and she's done played you to the left. And that's how it is, brother Pablo's like, in my opinion, women sense insecure men who try to impress them with their credit card. Women take advantage of these men like vampires. I mean, you could say that. And the opposite is true too. You got guys who know their game, who are up on their game, and they know how to, who are confident coming in there. And those guys take care, they take advantage of women like vampires. I mean, you can make it. It's the game. You feel me? It's the game. It goes both ways. Right? Guys who know what they're doing, they smash it. And that's most of the case, most of the time. I would say 80 to 90% of the time, that's all a dude wants in the short term anyway. Just wants to have sex. And he's getting it in. And that woman is trying to have a long-term relationship with some dude that she believes is the one. So he is technically running her pockets in much the same way as these women who are beautiful, got some subpar dude with no confidence, is going to run that guy's pockets. I chalk it up to the game both ways. You know what I mean? And Brother Pitney's like, we're on the street. This Dan Bilzerian has never paid for play, but he's paid for presence, especially at the start of his career to start his public image. Not sure how true that is. I've heard the same thing. Just from bumping into people in Hollywood and people who have gone to some of his parties, because his parties were legendary out there. He had this house up in the Hollywood Hills. It was just like stupid. He was renting. A lot of people said it was his. It turns out that he was actually renting that house where the corporation was. He's had big parties with like the biggest names in the industry. He did, he would pay to have these beautiful women show up, hang out. They would be practically living in that mansion. Was he paying the women to have sex? I don't think so. And I've never heard anyone say that he was. He just had so many women around him that they began to compete for him because he was the dude. And when you look at it like, bro, he got the supercars, got the mansion, he's out, got the jet, got all this stuff. He's very mysterious with his history and all that. So yeah, those girls are like, man, I want a piece of this. And so he's not going to have to pay to actually smash. Now, if he wants these model quality women at his parties, he's going to have to pay to get them there. And okay, he's chalked that up to the business, which put him on the map. We wouldn't be talking about it right now had he not done that. So I look at it as a business play. But let's continue.
So like, I just know that it's not the traditional things that guys think that they need. That's a part of it. But I think like I said, when I kind of like deconstructed it, the biggest epiphany that I had was the difference of when you are chasing a woman or you're pursuing a woman versus when she's pursuing you, and like the flaws disappearing on both sides. When a woman's chasing you, your flaws disappear, her flaws magnify. Just like when the really, stage 5 clinger girl hits you up all the time, it's just like, you're not interested in her. Maybe she can suck your dick on a Friday night if you strike out at 3 a.m. Right. But like, the same thing's true for women. Is like when these guys massively over communicate interest, they know they can have them. And then it's like a conversation of, do they want them? And when you're looking at flaws, you're going to find them. Like, you've got flaws, I've got flaws, like everybody has flaws, right? So when you're looking for flaws, they stand out. But when you're pursuing something, like think an auction, like,
bro, this part right here, I agree with 100%. This part right here, that is the key when you're out here in these streets, especially today. If she is chasing you, if she is more invested in you, if she wants to be with you and you don't want to be with her, you're going to be looking at her flaws, man. She's too clingy. She costs me too much. She's, she's has low self-esteem. I don't like her friends. She's lazy. She's not ambitious. She doesn't add any value. She doesn't think, whatever. You're going to be thinking, if you're in a position where you're being chased, you're going to be looking at her like, man, you're going to be looking for all the red flags. Why? Because you have all this other stuff over here you're dealing with. And the reverse is true. If you chasing her, you're going to ignore all those red flags. If you're the one chasing her, if you're the one that's more invested, you could care less because all you want is her time. You want her to call you. You want her to text you, right? You begin to be addicted to that like a drug, bro. Like a drug. You just get addicted to it. Like, I gotta have it. You chasing her, bro. She runs it, bro. She runs you. You're always available. And you hear what he's saying. He's like, nah, man, don't be chasing them like that, bro. This is one of the things that these guys need to understand. And a lot of these guys are like, well, I'm not tall and I'm not wealthy and I'm not this and I'm not that. So I have to chase her. She gives me a little bit of attention. I mean, that's a big thing, right? Like, nah, bro. Just keep talking to women. Just keep talking. Get yourself a rotation, not even a sexual rotation. Just have your rotation of women that you're communicating with. And you just simply don't have the time. You just don't have the time to hit her, you know what I mean, to hit her up all the time and be sitting there waiting for her call, waiting for her text. You just don't have the time, bro. You know what I mean? Cody's Kings in the building. What's good, fam? It's the old, you want what you can't have and don't appreciate what you do. Facts. Facts. That is a fact, bro. You know, it's that and the grass is always greener type shit. He's like, you know, DL, LOL. Those flaws you listed are some or the same for all of them. Yeah. Those flaws. Yeah, they all got them. That's a fact. That's a fact, bro. It's just a matter, do you choose to ignore them or not? How fine is she? The finer she is, the more you will tolerate. That's also an uncomfortable truth, bro. The finer she is, the more you'll I mean, there's always a limit. I don't care how fine she is. There's always a limit. But if she's a legit 10, you're going to give her more leeway than you're going to give some woman who's a 4 that just has a nice body or something. Like, this chick's a 4. I ain't really, the 4 can't do nothing wrong. She on eggshells. The 10, yeah, she can pop off and say something stupid every now and again, but she got the perfect package. Like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and tolerate her fuckery just a little bit. Now I'm talking about just the annoying stuff that they do and her pouting when she can't get her way and her whining and all that. Like, all right, man, I'm out. We about to go. I'm going to talk to y'all later. You know, get in the car and she's like nagging, but you get it to the crib and just, you forget about that nag. You know, when you look down at her and she looking all good, you know what I'm saying? She coming all over herself. It's like, all right, I'll deal with that. You know what I mean? But she's still in a rotation. It's not like you're dealing with it every single day, every single night. She's in a rotation. You might be dealing with her once every other week because you still got to run your rotation. Like, it is what it is. Let's continue.
5 guys want something. 5 guys are bidding for something, and like, you really want it, and you have this, like, you know, idea in your mind of like, when you wanted something, you didn't get it, and this fear of loss. You're not thinking about what's wrong with it. You're just, how do I get it?
Mhm.
Right? Just like, you know, and this is probably the most common mistake guys make is they're like, this girl's hot. How do I fuck her?
Yep.
You know, that's the thought process. Like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. Like, I would marry that girl. How many times have you heard a guy say like, oh my God, she's so hot, I would marry her? It's like, what if she has AIDS? What if she's a pathological liar? What if she's like 95,000 guys? What if she's just like a, you know, a serial cheater? Like, you know, what if this girl has massive problems? What if she's bipolar? What if she's got a massive alcohol problem? Whatever, right? Like, dig a little bit deeper, like, be discerning, you know, like, go into the interaction, like, wanting to find out more about the girl, not just accepting her looks as being enough. And I think that's,
and again, he's on it 100% factual what he just said right there. Her looks, obviously, you want to get you a beautiful girl, man. Most dudes, especially those guys in the bottom 80 who haven't really done anything, they haven't experienced women, let alone beautiful women. When they get a chance to get a dime, they first dime, they go crazy. We all do, right? The first time you get a dime, like, oh shit, man, she trying to holler at me, I got him, whatever. It's gonna mess with your head. Right. By the time you got into your 30th or 40th beautiful woman, when you get to the point where that you're only beautiful women are around you, you're only around 8s, 9s, and 10s. That luster wears off quick. Of course she's beautiful. That's all I deal with. Of course she's beautiful. When I'm sitting around, talking to friends and talking to business owners and trying to set up events and, wanting to do promotions, and I'll show them like, well, I got this friend who's going to help me with this promotion, like, here she is. They go crazy. Oh my God, she's beautiful. Of course she's beautiful. Of course she is. I mean, they meet her in person, like, oh man, she's so cool. Of course she's cool. That's money right there. That's what's gonna bring everybody in here. Her and her people gonna be in here. But these guys never been around that, and they just zoom in on that. This is all I want. I just want to talk to this beautiful woman. I will marry her. Everything Bilzerian's saying right here. I will marry this woman. She is the best. Like, bro, you ain't even spoken 2 words to this chick. You have no idea the kind of batshit crazy she got up in her belfry. You have no idea what's going on up here. I'm not worried about it because I ain't smashing. This is business. I got her because she brings money. That's why I got her. That's why she here. I ain't even trying to smash. I don't want to mess up the business. But these dudes, that's all they think about. And it's like, cool, good for me. Because now they really want to work with me because they want to see this woman again. And it's like, all right, cool. Well, if you want to talk to her again, man, let's just set up, let's set up our event for Wednesday, man. We'll get it going. She'll be here, right? She's going to be walking around with me, helping set stuff up, da. Oh, she's going to be here? Yeah. Okay, great. Let's just talk the numbers. What percentage of the bar am I going to get? Right? And I get 100% of the door. They're like, no problem. Just make sure she's here, which blows my mind. They never ask if she's in a relationship. They never ask if she's married. They never ask any of that. They just, she's beautiful. I want to see her. Oh my gosh, she's so cool. She gave me her Instagram. Of course she did. Why wouldn't she? Guys, you have to get past that. You have to put yourself in a position where you are surrounded by beautiful women and you're used to it. You're just used to it. You want to be jaded like the dudes who work at the gentleman clubs. That's how you want to be. You want to be like the DJ who works all the high club in your city. You want to be like the best promoter in the city. That's all they see. They get hit up constantly by these beautiful women, constantly begging them, can you put me on the list? Can you get me in? Can you put me in so-and-so's table? You want to be that guy in the sense that you're just used to being around all these women and they need you for something. They're coming to you. You send a message or you call, they answering that phone ASAP. They're responding to your text, right? ASAP, bro, because you are important to them. And if you're out there just talking to a woman, if she's into you, that's how it should be. If you send a text, you should get a response within minutes if she's into you. And if she doesn't respond within minutes, when she does respond, she'll let you know what was going on. Well, I was at work in a meeting. I couldn't get to that. Even then, they'll send a heart emoji or something. If a woman is into you and you call or you text, she will answer, hands down. That's just how it is. It's just, boy. And Brother Cody was like, bro, I have chased after women I wasn't even attracted to just because of them being hard to get. And that's another thing too. You have to do this, man. You have to get out here. The best attitude to have when you're talking to women, guys, even you guys who just you're starting down this path. When you don't really care about the outcome, that's when you have the high ground, so to speak. That's when you are in command. When you don't care about the outcome. I don't care if you give me your name. I don't care if you give me your social media or your phone number. I don't care. I'm going to ask just because, but I don't care about the outcome. And women know the difference from guys who are acting like they don't care versus the guys who really don't give a shit. And guess what? The guys who really don't give a shit, they got better numbers. Right? I was at the bar just a couple of days ago. And the people that I'm with, my guy was talking to a couple women that pulled up at the bar. Like I said, dude, what do I always tell you guys? When women walk in, they scan just like men scan. And if a woman is into you just a little bit, she's going to pull up and place herself in your orbit. These two girls immediately placed themselves in my people's orbit. So he starts talking just to be talking. He ain't interested in these women at all. Right? At zero interest in these women. They were older. One was going through a divorce. The other one was older, had a bunch of kids. She had a very, very pretty face, but man, she was thick, like thick, like too thick for me. But she was cute though. I mean, she carried it and she was wearing her tight pants away. She got plenty of attention. She carried her extra weight well. Talking, my people talking to him. I'm just kind of sitting there. And then, of course, I got to play my role. There are opportunities for me to jump into the conversation. I say what I got to say, blah, blah, blah. Still, my man just talking. And long story boring, they went away, but the one came back. The thick one came back. Her friend was outside. The thick one came back to close out her tab, which waitresses are out there. They will bring your tab to you, but she came to close out her tab. And, my people called her over. She came over, was talking. And she realized that my people was just talking to be talking, and that I was the one who was the free one. And I was just kind of like, whatever. man, whatever. After this, I'm leaving. They were talking about where they were going. We're going to this place. It was like, oh, you might not want to go there because they're going to be closed when you get there. You might want to try this place over here, that place over there. Or are you going to come? Like, not, I wasn't planning on it, but I mean, maybe I'll stop by after I finish drinking this. And we were talking about we were talking about our kids. She got a bunch of kids, and I'm like, I ain't having no more kids. I got the old snippety snip, snip, snip. And her response to that was, well, you could do that, or I could just swallow, right? Out of the blue. Why did she do that? Because she knew that I didn't care. And the other dude wasn't able to do anything. And she was just letting me know, like, hey, this is what I'm about. I got a free pass tonight. I'm looking to do this. I could just swallow? Wow. My people started laughing. He couldn't stop laughing. I was just sitting there like, oh, okay. Sure. I never asked for a number, never asked for a social media, nothing. I knew where she lived. She told me what part of town she lived in, everything. She told me she was out. She was drinking. She was getting lit. You know what I mean? Just everything. She was about it. But I didn't care. I didn't care, bro. Nothing against her. I just didn't care. I had the upper hand. If I wanted to pursue that, she gave me the perfect opportunity, right? So again, women can sense when you are acting like you don't care versus you really don't care. And Cody was like, yeah, and turn down cuties that are too eager. This was the one right here. She was a thickie. She was a cutie, but she was way too eager. Brother Vikings in the building. What's good, fam? Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, bro. So, fellas, y'all gotta, if you're trying to figure it out, and if you really want to know what's going on in the sexual marketplace right now, the key is surround yourself with beautiful women. Only approach beautiful women. You know, get your confidence up, get your conversational skills up, because that's where it starts. It's all about the conversation, man. Know how to break the ice. And again, don't over pursue. Like Brazilian is saying, like Cody is saying, do not over pursue these women, bro. Don't do it. Yeah, when dealing with women, outcome independence is key. Hey, Brother Penny's right, man. Don't over pursue.
The biggest problem that guys make is that they just like the looks are enough, and then the conversation is like, how do I get her to like me? So you're already going in there with a handicap. You know, like when a salesman comes in, like he's already coming in from a handicap versus like when somebody goes into the store because they need milk, they just go to the aisle, they find the milk and they buy it. Versus if you show up at the door and you try and sell them milk, then be like, oh, well, who is this guy? Is the milk old? Can I trust this? You know what I mean? Like the difference, like when you want something, it's just like, how do I get it? It's not, you know, the same conversation. And so that would be the biggest thing. And I figured that out because I had a big sample size of girls that wanted to me that I screwed it up with, and a big sample size of girls that wanted me that I also had sex with. And I think that's like, look, in a experiment, you have to have the control group, right? Most guys do not have the control group. Like I literally had girls sending me butt naked photos on Instagram. I want to you. And I screwed it up with those girls. So I'm just saying, like, only in like cross comparing what worked and what didn't work with two sample sizes of girls that both wanted to sleep with me, could I figure it out.
Given that you're the same guy to both of them.
Exactly. Because like, you know, there's girls that just like wouldn't want to sleep with me because I'm Armenian or I have a shitty haircut or whatever, right? Like there's going to be girls that just like wouldn't fuck me, period. So because I had that sample that I knew that they wanted to sleep with me and I screwed it up, I was able to like figure out the things that I was doing wrong. And like one of the big things that I was doing wrong was like I was over communicating interest. I would have problems with the girls that I was like, oh damn, like this girl's hot, you know, she's different, or like, you know, or I really like her or whatever. And my approach would change. And because my approach would change, my results would change.
Man, he is dropping game. He is dropping game. Yes, you can have a woman who is all about it, man. She's all about you. She wants to just smash, do dirty things with you, bro. She's sending you the pics. She's sending you the dirty texts. She's ready to go. You can screw that up. You can. You can send the wrong type text. You can, call her a name she doesn't like. You could go too far. You can call her a dirty slut thinking it's cool. That might turn her off. You know, bro, this is what over here, we're always talking about keeping your foot out your mouth. When a woman is into you, the less you say, the better. Let her do all that stuff, man. Let her send you the dirty pictures. Let her do the dirty talk. All you got to do is like, yeah, baby, damn, I can't wait. Yeah, ooh, yeah, baby, show me again. Ooh, what else you going to do? Don't add to it. Don't jump, don't jump in and mess up her fantasy. Just sit back, let her do her thing, and get her to the crib or get her to the telly as soon as y'all can. You know, she sends you all that. You ready for me now when we come over? She's like, yeah, come over now. Go do that. Go do that. And you can get over there and she might be asleep. Because 9 times out of 10, she on that Chardonnay. She on some wine, bro. She on that Chardonnay. She on that rosé. She on that cab. She on something. And by the time you get there, she might be asleep. Don't get mad at her. She'll wake up the next morning. She'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Did you make it all the way over here? Like I did. Don't worry about it. Right. And then, you know, give her one more shot. Tell her don't start drinking till I get there or whatever. Right? Because if you go over there, she falls asleep, now you mad. Or you might get over there and the other dude got there first. You trust me, you ain't the only person she's sending that stuff to. That's another thing about the game. You think y'all got something going on? That's just, you know, that's just y'all special thing. Nah, bro. She's sending that same picture to mass other dudes. At least maybe 1, maybe 2 other dudes. And it's who gets there first or who is able to get her out of there first. Like she might leave there and go, you know, go over his crib or something. Again, it's all part of the game. Don't get mad. That's just how the game goes. That's how the game is played. But what you want to do is limit your input. Only say what you have to say. Don't mess it up. Don't give her an excuse to break it off. And that's what Bill Zarian is saying. Like, bro, he messed it up. He's like, man, I knew she wanted me and I screwed it up. What did I do wrong? And like he said, he was giving him way too much access. He's going back and forth too much. He's whatever. It's like, bro, short and sweet. You down like that? You want to do that? Well, shoot, let me see that in real life. Can I come over and see it in real life? Can I come over and take my own picture? Right? Can I be the photographer, babe? And she was like, ooh, that's sexy. Yeah, come over. What you want me to bring? Bring tequila. Like, all right, I'm on my way. Like, you just do it that way as opposed to just adding to the fantasy and just, you know, getting too big. You're going to say something wrong, bro, and it's going to shut her down. One wrong word and it's over. It's like a light switch, bro. On and off. Zeros and ones. When she feeling freaky like that, it's on and off. On and off. I've been there, done that more than a handful of times. You just gotta sit back, let it play out. Do not put your foot in your mouth. Don't do it. Right? Don't do it. And Viking Paradigms agreed, brother Cody. Yeah, it's all head games, bro. Right. Shut the fuck up game. It's real. It's real, guys. That is your best friend, right? Just keep it. Just let her do her thing. She's running that fantasy in her head. And all you got to do is insert yourself in real life. No pun intended. Giggity.
What about, you know, the sort of treat them mean to keep them keen / not signaling sufficient interest that person, that girl doesn't actually end up responding to you at all? I think, well, he's not interested, so this doesn't go anywhere.
So I wouldn't say treat them mean. I would say change your default setting from nice to challenging. You know, because like a lot of these guys, like they aren't really nice guys. Like, oh, like, I just want to be. It's like you're not that nice to the fat chick. You're not that nice to the janitor. You're nice to this girl because you want to her. You know, so like this whole idea of like, oh, I'm just being myself, or like that's another one. It's like I just want to be myself. Like I want her to like me for me. And it's like, okay, well, there's different versions of you. There's a version of you in an Armani suit. There's a version of you dressed like shit. You know, there's a version of you where you like take care of your diet and work out and like, you know, work at your job. And there's a version of you that just like succumbs to every one of your, you know, impulses. Like, you know, like I drive by McDonald's and like, you know, I just want to eat fries, but I don't, you know, like I want to have Snickers all day, but I don't, you know, like you can make yourself better. And I think, you know, a lot of guys don't do that. Like a lot of guys are just like, I want a girl to like me for me.
So get tactical for a moment with regards to guy has girl.
That last part he said, man, I want a girl to like me for me. Again, if you go in with that mindset, you're probably not going to win. And that, I mean, that's just how it is today. You know, 25, 35 years ago, yeah, you could do that all day long. All day long. But now with social media, women believe that they have an abundance of dudes. It's like there's an infinite number of guys out there. They're constantly being hit up on social media. They're constantly being they're constantly being hit up in real life on the streets. There's dudes chatting them up every chance they get. Right? It happens. You know, it's guys like me. If I see a beautiful woman and there's an opportunity to say something, I'm gonna say something. You know, like it's like Cody said, just if anything, just to keep sharp. I'm gonna say something just to see if I can get her in the conversation, just to keep it sharp, and then I'm out. I'm not asking her for nothing or like that. And especially if that's a woman that I see, you know, like when I was working, you know, you go to lunch, you kind of go to the same place for lunch, and you see this woman, she gets used to seeing you there. Yeah, she's gonna see you, and you say stuff, and she's gonna start saying stuff to you. Hey, what's your name? I always see you here. Like, yeah, you weren't here yesterday. Like, nah, I took yesterday off. I was doing whatever. What's your name? Oh yeah, I'm Saint. What's your name? Oh, my name is Mandy. All right, great to meet you, Mandy. Right, and then that's it. I'll, you know, see you tomorrow, Mandy. That kind of stuff. See you, Saint. That kind of stuff, and you keep seeing her. Eventually, right? Either she's gonna hint to wanting to go somewhere, or you're gonna just let her know, like I'm going, like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Like, oh man, you know, this guy named Chris Pierce is playing at Hotel Cafe. Oh my God, you know Chris Pierce? Like, yeah, I've been listening to his music for a while. I didn't know he was coming. I'm going. You want to go? Yeah, I can go. Like, cool. You want to meet me there? Or you want me to come pick you up? Oh, I mean, if you could pick me up, that'd be cool. We could just Uber down. Like, you come to my place, we just Uber down. Like, all right, that's fine. Now, what did she tell me? She told me she's comfortable with me, comfortable enough to have me come to her place, park my car, and we're going to Uber down to a concert, which means I got to come back to get my car. This at your place. Right? She's setting the stage. She wants something to happen. Right? And like Brother Penny said, that's the game. Game is not the art of talking your way into the Foxy Brown. It's the art of not talking your way out of it. And that is a fact. That is a fact. I'm not going to say, hey, let's go out and be the aggressor and all that. I'm just going to throw it out there and see if she bites, man. You just put that line out there, see if she bites. Oh. Yeah, got a nibble. Oh. Now, if she was just kind of like on some friendship stuff, like, oh, Chris Pierce, same scenario. Chris Pierce, I love Chris Pierce. Been following him forever. Like, yeah, I've been following him for a few years. First place I saw him was at Genghis Coins. You know, I know him. I met him a few times. Friend of mine introduced me to him. Oh, you met him? Yeah. So you going to be there at Hotel Cafe? Yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm going to go check him out. And then she'll say, cool, I might see you there. I might see you there. Something like that. All right. That's what's up. And I ain't talking nothing else about it. I'm not going to say, hey, want me to get your ticket for you? I ain't none of that. That's where dudes take it too far. Right? She's like, maybe I'll go. I know where it is. I know who he is. I know you're going to be there. Maybe you'll see me there. And the guy's like, well, I'll get your ticket for you. What's your Instagram? What's your number? I'll call you. I'll send the Uber for you. I can wait for you out front. Want me, day of. Hey, are you coming? Show starts in 15 minutes. Man, don't do none of that. None of it. Ideally, if you're there taking care of business, talking to pretty women, when she walks in and she sees you talking to different women, she's going to be, okay, cool. This dude is highly sought after. Let me go over here and get his attention. Right? So it's all about not talking how did Brother Pitney put it? Not talking your way out. Not talking your way out of the Foxy Brown. That's what it's all about. All right, let's continue.
That he thinks she's hot, she's interesting, I want to pursue her. What is a better tactical way of moving toward that? What should they do?
Well, I mean, I would not start the interaction by over communicating interest, number one. So I would go up and, have a conversation with her. I mean, I've asked girls crazy stuff. I take like a pretty extreme approach, and I wouldn't recommend this for, all guys, but like I'll ask girls crazy questions. Like me and my buddy were having a conversation the other day, and like he was like, I think I was arguing that I think you have a lower chance of getting a serious rejection if you put a girl's hand on your dick than if you go for a kiss. And
all right, guys, do not try this in real life. Dan Bilzerian is a trained professional. Do not attempt what he just mentioned there. Don't do it. There's more to it anyway. And what he's talking about is valid what he's talking about. But you have to be extremely advanced to try something like this, guys. So don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But you can wind up getting locked up for something like that. Having to go around and register and tell people that you're an offender. Don't do it, man. And Brother Cody, this is a great comment here, guys. And Cody is on point. When you're talking about women, they should like you for you. Just make sure you are good enough to like. That is a Don DeMarco right there, fam. Facts right there.
Don DeMarco.
It's all about you, bro. It's all about you, man. So and like Cody's here talking about better know your signals, bro. Like for real, you better know. Don't gonna grab her and put her hand right there. And that's some very advanced stuff. And can that be done? Yes. Can you pull that off? Yes. But you're not pulling that off with someone that you just met. You're not pulling that off with someone that you're not in some sort of relationship with. You just can't do it. I mean, have I done that on after meeting somebody for a few hours? Yeah, but it was preceded with stuff like, you know, you playing silly games like, you know, drink or dare type stuff or whatever, or you really understand her signals and she's right there. You know, I've had women like laughing and they'll laugh and then kind of hit you and their hand lands on your lap kind of thing. You just kind of look down like, well, girl, quit playing. If you're gonna strike, go ahead and make it happen. And then they'll, grab or whatever, but you don't just grab their hand and put it there, man. Don't do that. But he's gonna don't do that.
This is after a girl's into you and like you guys have been on a date or whatever, and there's like, some chemistry, whatever. And he was like, you're out of your mind, like this, that, and the other. And I was like, okay, well, let's ask some girls. So like, I just would go up to a girl and I'd be like, hey, like this is the question. Like, I wouldn't frame like who is on which side, but like they wanted an answer. So they gave their answer. And now all of a sudden we're in a sexual conversation with a girl where I haven't communicated any interest to her at all. And I've almost like disqualified her because I'm asking her this question that like usually wouldn't ask
Not
her
about you.
Exactly. You wouldn't ask a girl that you're trying to like hook up with because it's like a crazy question too. And so I'm not saying that would be, the optimal approach, but I'm just saying like that's something that like most guys wouldn't think to do, but that it's more successful than going up, over communicating interest, putting a girl in a position where like she has to decide like accept or reject. And usually when they're like forced to accept or reject, usually reject is the default. And if it's not, then they're probably a whore if they just like accept every guy that comes up to them.
This is your chasing versus choosing paradigm.
Well, yeah. So, get into the interaction and, the caveat to that is like, what you say to a girl isn't necessarily how important is like how you say it. So you could go up and say some really stupid shit to open the conversation. It doesn't really matter. Like as long as you get in there without massively over communicating interest. Right. And then I would say be discerning, be challenging, like, ask questions, dig deeper, get a little bit of information about her,
This is the key. This is why I stress communication skills. You know what I mean? When you're talking to these young dudes, or just talking to dudes in the bottom 80 trying to work their way out. The key is confidence and communication, right? You have to be able to confidently communicate with women. Right? You want to be able to talk to everybody. You want to be the guy who can seamlessly, flow from one conversation to the next. You want to be the guy who, when someone starts talking crazy, you just kind of just dismiss them in a very cool way. Women appreciate that too. I can't tell you how many times I've walked away from a group because they had that one dude in the group, right? Or that one chick in the group that was just a complete asshole. And I just, not saying anything fly, just kind of float away. And then the attractive women find them, again, they'll find their way over to me. They will put themselves in the orbit. Sometimes they'll come right away and just apologize or whatever. And I don't know why that person is that way, but man, you're in the conversation now. You're in the conversation, right? You can come up and say, again, as a comedian, I've said all kind of wild shit, just kind of breaking the ice, and it works. You make people laugh, to the point where I'm not being a clown. It's not buffoonery, but I'm able to communicate. And women love dudes who are funny, so they're gonna want to be around you. Like, oh man, this guy's kind of funny. I'm just, just whatever. Like people like, well, give me an example. What should I say? Like either you're funny or you're not. If you're not a funny dude, don't try it. Right? Don't try it because you'll do more harm than good. Right? Comedy is a very good tool if you know how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, if you're not funny, it's gonna put you in a bad situation. So just don't do it. Be the stoic dude. Be the mysterious guy. Talk about your travels or something like that. But you have to be able to have these conversations and pivot when needed to keep people interested in you for that moment. And the best way to do it is really to have her talk, man. Be able to get her to talk. And you can just kind of say, oh man, tell me more, or stuff like that. So that's the key. Right? Let's continue.
I mean, Neil Strauss had a good one when he was on with Jessica Alba, and he said, looks are common in LA. Aside from your looks, like what would your friends say are the three, best qualities about you? And like in that one question, he immediately like pulled away her looks, which was like one of her strongest attributes. Like nobody give a fuck about Jessica Alba. She's ugly. Right. So it's literally like her superpower. He just sucked it right out of the conversation. He's also digging deeper. And now he's got her in a position of like qualifying herself to him and selling herself to him. She's telling him why she's good, you know? And so that would be a much better start of an interaction than like, you know, I think you're so beautiful. Like, I just had to come over here and, you know, and by the way, I'm a doctor, you know, and I drive a Lamborghini and like all this bullshit. The guys like, you know, they try and brag about themselves. They're doing all these things. And the girl's just like in a position of like, okay, you know, like, do I want this? That's the conversation usually between guys and girls is like, the girl's like, okay, do I want this guy? It's like playing poker and the guys just like turn over their cards.
You know, that point he made with Jessica Alba, that scenario plays out all the time in LA. I'm pretty sure it's to this day it still plays out. Guys who know what they're doing, dudes with game in LA, the first thing they do is dismiss the woman's beauty. LA is full of beautiful women. Come on, man, it's Hollywood. It is full of beautiful women. Every type of woman you can think of. Right? For every Jessica Alba, there are like 100 Jessica Alba types. Right? Because it's casting. That's how they cast for movies. I got this role. I need a Jessica Alba type. I need a Jennifer Aniston type. Right? I need an Angelina Jolie type. How many times have you seen movies and it's like, man, that actor looks just like so-and-so, right? Because that's how the casting went down. I need a Brad Pitt type. You know, I mean, and Hollywood has them. They're out there. You can spend an entire week casting, like doing a casting call for a Jessica Alba type. You can spend the entire week out there casting before you even do one callback, before your first callback. A whole week of people. You won't see the same person twice and they all look like Jessica Alba. Right? So when you're in LA, the play is to dismiss the beauty. Don't even talk about her beauty. It's like he said, it was like, man, get her talking about other things. If you can get her to qualify herself to you, man, that's really good. That's really good because now you're just having a regular conversation and she's into the conversation, especially if you know what you're talking about. And if you can teach her something, the fact that I was an air traffic controller, when I would bring that up in conversation, because, you know, the first, second, or third thing someone's going to ask you in LA is, what do you do? Because they're trying to figure out what do you provide for them, or what can you provide for them? How can you help them? Are you a promoter? Are you a manager? You know, are you a potential suitor, like a boyfriend who can, you know, put me up in the house or whatever, sugar daddy type thing? They're trying to figure it out. So, you know, most of the time I would tell them I was a comedian, but I didn't look later. Like if this guy's a comedian, he's a successful comedian, right? Because I didn't look the part, you know what I mean? I didn't look like a starving artist. So, but I would tell women sometimes like, well, I'm in aviation. Like, well, what do you do in aviation? I'm an air traffic controller. And they're like, oh, really? And now they're asking me about air traffic control and I'm teaching them something. That's a great position to be in when you're teaching women something. I mean, when you teach anybody anything, really, but in that conversation, now she's kind of looking up to you like, wow, this guy wow, that's a stressful job. Like, I know that air traffic controllers make a lot of money, but I also know that it's a very stressful job. It's a high self-deletion rate. They got a lot of responsibility. And I'm curious, how does that work? Like, and you get an opportunity to sit down. If you have a woman who's really into like asking you these questions because she's a little savvy, oh my God. Now, the reason I didn't lead with I'm an air traffic controller is because there's a lot of dumb people in LA, bro. There's a lot of dumb people in America, right? So I'm like, I don't think this woman right here even knows what an air traffic controller is. Right? That time I was telling you, I bumped into Rosario Dawson. She never asked me what I did. And that right there told me that this woman right here is self-sufficient. In fact, she doesn't care what I do. She was just enjoying the conversation. She never asked what I did. And the conversation stopped only when I realized who she was. She told me her name was Rosario. And right away, I was like, I've never met a Rosario. I was truly intrigued. Like, oh, I've never met a Rosario. And at that moment, she realized I didn't know who she was. Right? She knew it. Like, oh, and she enjoyed the conversation. And again, once I figured out who she was, the conversation was over. and I went on about my business. But if you can have that good conversation, dismiss their raw beauty, you're in the game. Like, you are in the game. Brother Cody is right. Make her qualify. Ask her about things you will care about. If you show disappointment and she tries to switch it up, what she said, when she tries to switch up what she says, she is in. Best case is she does qualify. That's a good point. I mean, if she's like, you show that disappointment, it's like, oh, okay, well, like if back to that Rosario Dawson conversation, if I'm sitting there and I'm talking, we're having a great conversation, and then she's like, well, I'm in entertainment, I'm an actress, and I'm like, oh. And then she's like, well, no, I'm more of a producer. Whatever. She's trying to, back off of it and continue to qualify. That's when you know she's into you. I think we both knew that night that the conversation was over the minute I realized who she was. And she had her entourage, or her crew was waiting for her. I put it all together in the same moment, like, oh, well, I'll let you get back to your people. And I moved on. She didn't want to stop the conversation. I think she would have dismissed her friends. Like, hey, meet me at so-and-so. But I just didn't want to go. But Cody's right, man. Make her qualify. She's making you qualify. Brother Gritos is in the building. What's up, man? Just got back from Colorado, huh? I won't be able to make it down the first weekend of September. I will be, my next trip to Miami will be the last weekend in October. But yeah, we might have something going on here in Tampa, fam. So if you're down, I won't be able to slide down to Miami. So sorry. But yeah, we get you up here to Tampa one of these days, bro. And I was in Miami a couple of weeks ago for the Fresh Fit Yacht Party, man. It was a good time. It was a good time. You know what I mean? They talking about Rosario. Did she used to be a man? Hey, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, Cody. In person back then, and we're talking, this was over 10 years ago, bro. Yes, I mean, this is over 15 years ago. My daughter wasn't born yet. This is before I had my daughter. So this was like over 15 years ago. Man, she was attractive, man. She looked good. Rosario Dawson looked good. Now she looks like a Vulcan. I don't know what's going on with Rosario now, but back then she looked good. Player 1258 in the building. What's good, fam? Facts forthcoming of trying to qualify yourself is a higher sign of interest. Hey, man, a lot of guys just don't understand because they don't have the practice, man. They haven't been out there. They haven't been around beautiful women. Depending on where you are, like if you're somewhere neutral, you're not in a club, you're not in a lounge, you're not somewhere where this beautiful woman has pressure from her friends or whatever, she has to look a certain way. If you're somewhere neutral, like it's just, outside of a grocery store or walking through the park or just some random shit, right? Your odds of being successful with a beautiful woman, I think, are higher than, or just the same as your odds of being successful with an average woman. In just that scenario, there's no one else around. She's going to talk to you. If you know how to communicate, if you have conversational skills, it's not about the riz. It's not, it's not about trying to riz her up. It's not about your charisma per se. I mean, that plays a role in it. But if you really know how to have a grown-up conversation, a beautiful woman will listen to you, bro. Catching a dime on a humble was always the best move. Always the best move. That time I was telling you about, I was telling you guys about Logan Browning. Caught her on a humble at Whole Foods. I was looking a mess. I still hollered at her. And she spoke to me. She stopped her car. She rolled her window down. Now, maybe she thought I was homeless and was going to give me $1. Maybe that was the case. But she did talk to me. And she did think about it. And because I wasn't at my most confident, right? I was bummy. I was just got done working. I was driving Uber. I worked my whole full 8 hours at air traffic control as a controller. And then I drove another 6 hours. And then I picked up my daughter. I was there to pick up my daughter. So I bumped into her on a humble, but I wasn't confident. I wasn't looking my best, right? I wasn't. And that came across in my approach. Now, if I caught her, let's say I was on my way somewhere and I was looking good, smelling good, feeling good, the approach would have been completely different. The whole conversation would have shifted. And I would have, I'd have been able to engage her, chat her up a bit. So listen, if I hit you up on Instagram, will you respond? I'd have hit her with one of those. Like if I hit you up on Instagram, will you respond? And now she has a choice. She could say, well, why don't you just take my number? If you text me, I'll definitely respond. Right now, she's into you. But because my confidence wasn't there, It shouldn't have mattered, to be honest with you, because when I was broke and poor, we was pulling chicks like crazy anyway. It shouldn't have mattered, but like I said, confidence is key. You have to be confident. And eye contact, bro, for sure. For sure. The eye contact, all that comes into confidence, man. Like you make eye contact and you know what I mean, a quick little smile or whatever, a nod, man, they like that. And they smile back, you know, they like, okay. And then you can make your way over there. Not right away. You don't have to beeline unless you want to. That might be part of your thing, beeline, but you know, make your way over there or wait for her to make her way to you. She will place herself in your orbit. Yeah, Rosario Dawson, man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's up with her, bro. I just saw her. I saw something on YouTube with her. She was with guy who played Anakin Skywalker, Chris, what's his name? Christian something. I can't remember his name. But anyway, they've known each other since they were kids. And I was watching that and I'm looking at her hairdo and I'm like, damn, baby, why is your hair like that? Like she looks like she's straight Vulcan. But it is what it is. Let's continue with the video.
And so I would say, like, you know, dig a little bit deeper, be discerning, like find out about the girl, like, you know, decide. And then if you want to give her a compliment on like something that's unique about her, something that's like she earned, or, you know, not just like she was born with, you know, like if she has pretty eyes, I'm sure she's heard that from a million guys. Like, don't tell her she has pretty eyes, you know, like just be different. I mean, I guess like a big epiphany I had too was like when I became famous, you know, and I just talk about this in there too, is like understanding a hot girl's mind, because when I became famous, like I understood what it was like to be a hot chick. And I understood that in the sense of like I had forced interactions wherever the fuck I would go, whether it was a Starbucks, whether it was, you know, wherever, like I had people coming up to me. And the same thing is true of a girl. Like when she goes to get her mail, when she goes to the grocery store, like guys are hitting on her all the time. So it's forced interactions. And what I notice is the first 100 times guys would come up to me and be like, bro, you're the man, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, all this shit. I was like, okay, cool. You know, whatever. And I always take the pictures, you know, but I guess what I'm trying to, you know, explain with that is, let's say you are a famous guy and a guy comes up to you and like, bro, you're the man, dude, like all this shit. And you've heard this 10,000 times. Is that going to make you want to have a beer with that guy? No. Like maybe you'll take a photo with him. You'll tell him you appreciate it, but it's not going to make you want to like hang out with him. Now, if that guy comes up to you and is like, hey man, you know, I only got a second, but I just want to tell you, like, you know, I really like this, you know, maybe the guy's a rock star. I really like the song that you did. And he told him a song that he did like in the garage. He's like, and I had that same guitar that you had and whatever. And then he's just like kind of excusing himself on the way out. Maybe that rock star like wants to have a conversation with him. Oh shit, that guitar, you know, that was like one of my favorite guitars, you know, like now you're coming at it from a different angle. And I would say the same thing is true with hot girls, is like, if you go up and say the same shit that all these other guys have said to these girls, you're going to have the same knee-jerk reaction. The walls are going to go up. Mm-hmm. She's going to remember the last 20 times she got caught in a 30-minute conversation with some idiot talking her ear off, and she knows that the guy just wants to fuck her because she's built no value, right? Like early on in the conversation, you compliment her a bunch before she's earned it, and it's kind of like you're telling her indirectly, you're hot,
above me.
You're above me, and your looks are good enough. I don't even care if you have flaws. Like you're hot, and so that's enough for me, and I'm ready to date you.
You see, and that's dudes do that, man, and they make it so difficult for everyone else because women do get tired of it, bro. I was talking to this one woman. She was a beautiful, nerdy girl next door type. Right. And I'm talking to her, whatever. All the dudes are saying what they're saying, whatever. I get an opportunity to say something to her, and I looked at her, and you know, and she's like, you know, we make eye contact, so she's waiting for me to say anything, you know, say something. And I was like, you strike me as an Acolyte fan. And she just completely looked at me, face lit up, and she was like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, I'm just saying you look like a cute nerdy girl who's into the Acolyte. And she was like, well, it wasn't as bad as everyone said. Like, I knew it. And then we had a conversation about Star Wars. That was that. She walked away from that conversation happy she can be. Yeah, we exchanged. I got her Instagram and all that. She's down south, right? She's down in Broward County. You know, cute, very, very attractive young woman. You know what I mean? You know, and she's like originally from the Northeast, but she, you know, it's a transplant. She's down in Florida, down in Miami, or the Miami area. She's in Broward. And but that was how I went with it. I'm like, she looks nerdy. I bet you she's in the Star Wars. Bet you she's in the Star Wars. And I said it. You look like an Acolyte fan. What do you mean by that? And she's like smiling. You know, she's like, it was wasn't as bad as everyone sounded like. It was worse than what everyone is saying. Come on, girl. Like, come on now. Are you a real Star Wars fan? Or are you just into that? And she was like, no, you're right. It was bad. But it was a great conversation. We didn't talk about her beauty. We didn't talk about how sexy she is. We didn't talk about how good she was looking that night with her dress and all that other kind of stuff. We were talking about movies. All right. So this is why you got to pay attention. You got to listen to what they're talking about. You got to get a feel for things, right? If you're dealing with a woman who's beautiful and she looks like she's into sports, right? Ask her, you into sports? Whatever. Hey, did you see that America rugby getting, we got bronze in rugby. You see that? That was amazing. I saw that. Boom, you're in the conversation. You're in the conversation. Right? So this is how it works, guys. Mixed chicks, like Cody was like LDL. Man, we talk about the same woman. Logan, hey, look, Cody, Logan Brownie, beautiful. When I saw her, that must have been about 7-8 years ago. When I saw her, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Little shorty was fine. Is fine. Perfect. No upgrades, just beautiful. Her thing is she has these beautiful eyes. They're real to my knowledge. They're real, like these beautiful eyes. Yeah, I remember her from Dear White People. I don't know what other movies she has done. I don't know about the whole Weinstein thing, Death Planet. I'm not sure. Is that the one, man? Did you see her? Is that her? I'm gonna put I just looked through. I did a quick Google search. I'll put this in the chat. Oh, you know what? It's too long to put in the chat. Just here's her name. You can just type in her name in you can just drop her name in a Google search, bro, and it'll come up. She is very, very, very attractive, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, fam. I ain't gonna lie to you, fam. I really enjoyed that conversation. I really enjoyed the conversation. If I was ready, if I had on my normal gear, I absolutely would have had coffee with her. I'd have taken her somewhere to get a salad or some, fruit salad or a smoothie or something like that. Definitely would have taken her to Jamba Juice. From Grindhouse. Was she in Grindhouse? Was that her? Nah, she wasn't. I don't know, man. You got to tell me, bro. But she's fine, man. Just look up, just Google her name, man. I put her name in the chat, man. Just Google her name. You know what I mean? And play at 1250 is like acting like, girl, stay away. Nah, bro. I was just trying to listen. Another thing dudes need to ask themselves. One of the things you need to ask yourself when you're out here in these streets, in these trenches, what's your mission? Are you out here just to smash, or are you looking for a significant other? This is a very important question to ask. Oh, you talking about Rosario? Yeah. Rosario. No. Rosario was cool. She was cuter back then, bro. Like Rosario Dawson was cuter back then when I met her. That was, like I said, now, again, she's older too. But the conversation was good. I would sit down and talk to Rosario. I don't know, I would smash. Let's keep it 100. I would smash. But I would definitely try to talk her out of that hairdo that she has. The girl that I was talking about, Logan Browning, that woman is beautiful, bro. Beautiful. And I do remember Grindhouse. Yeah, that was crazy. I do remember that. I remember Grindhouse, and Rosario was in that, I think. I'm getting confused. Y'all know I'm old. I can't focus. I can't focus. Yeah, and here's the thing, dude. If you're out there and the mission is just to have a good time, see where it goes, maybe smash, that's great. But I know where I am. Like when I'm out and about, I know I'm not looking for anything right now. I'm not looking for nothing. So to me, it's all about the conversation. That's really what I'm after. I'm on the hunt for good conversation, and I'm building my roster for events. So when I'm out, you see me talking to a beautiful woman, I'm doing that so I can get her information, get on her Instagram, so she can see the events that we're doing. I can send her invitations, and I can get her and her friends to come out. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm not trying to smash. It's not about that for me. I'm not right now. Maybe 3 years from now, when my daughter's done with high school and I'm living wherever I'm living, maybe that'll change. But right now, that's not what I'm doing. Now, having said that, if I get with a woman and she's like, yo, I want to take you back to my hotel and I want to bounce up and down on you right now. Okay, fine. Let's go. I'll do that. But I'm not chasing. I'm not tanking you out. I'm not playing the game. It's just, you want to go do this, let's go do this. If you don't, no problem. No problem. And again, it's all in the attitude. Women can tell the difference from guys who are playing the role of not caring and the guys who really don't care. I've had women come up and ask me, like, how come you're not pursuing me? I know I'm attractive. I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely beautiful. You're stunning. Absolutely. Well, why aren't you trying to come? Why haven't you asked me out? Because I got too much respect for you. Now I'm hitting them with some different game. Right now I'm hitting them with some other game. I got too much respect for you, love. You know what I'm doing. Like, if I was to approach a woman like you, I have to be ready to take it all the way there and be with you and be your guy. Like, I ain't on that right now. That's not what I'm doing. I'm having fun. I'm doing my thing over here. I got too much going on to commit to a serious relationship. And I got too much respect for you, especially now that I know you, to just want to, smash. Right. And sometimes that leads to them saying, well, that's all I really want to do right now. I mean, you're just so cool. I feel safe with you. We can just do that. We're grown-ups. It's all in the game, bro. It's all in the game, bro. Right. And Cody, I did see Grindhouse. That's when Kurt Russell was he was the stunt man, right? That was going out in his car crashing into people. I think that was it. I think that was Grindhouse. We got Red One in the building. What's good, fam? Like, it's crazy in these streets, man. Man, be smart. You got to understand the game, right? A lot of guys are out here getting wrecked because they just don't understand. And worse yet, some of these dudes, they just refuse to accept the game. This is what it is. This is what it is. If you're out here looking for a significant other, you don't need to be in the lounges. You don't need to be in the clubs. You don't need to be on the yacht parties, the mansion parties. You don't need to be on the red carpet. You're not going to find her there. Guys need to understand, and you need to be able to recognize which woman is which. Because you'll be surprised how these innocent suburban women, man, when they go out, man, sometimes they get down like crazy. Conservative, like political type women, the church women, bro, they get down like crazy. You have to be able to sense what's what. Your conversation helps too. Who they know, get their Instagram, get their social media. A lot of women are coming away from social media these days now. They're scrubbing their social media. And when you ask them for their social media, they'll tell you they don't have it. And to me, it's like, you've never had social media? Like, oh, okay. I'm supposed to believe that. All right. Okay. So this is the thing, guys. Understand and accept the game for what it is. You hear Dan Brazilian talking about it right now. He's talking about it right now. Right? Make women qualify to you. Like, make them qualify for you. Like, they make them pursue you. Right? Don't sit there and like tell her how beautiful she is. If a woman out there is beautiful, bro, she hears that probably, man, literally 60 times a day, how beautiful she is. And it's just empty. And the guys mean it. Oh my God, you're so hot. But they don't ask her anything. They're not trying to find out what she's about, where she's from. Right? Y'all need to understand that, bro. Master your communication skills. Start there. Let's get back to the video.
It's just the wrong thing.
It's so funny, that kind of playground mentality of, if I know that I can have it, I don't want it. And it's so funny how that seems to be in your worldview like a fundamental part of the physics.
It translates to everything. It's sales, it's negotiation, it's business, it's all these things.
The person that can walk away from the deal is the one that holds the most power.
Always.
In other news, this episode is...
And that's the end of that right there. But again, the person who's willing to walk away certainly holds the power. That's true, man. I tell dudes all the time, like, in a relationship, man, if you got a relationship, it's never 50-50. People talk about that. I'm like, whoever is willing to walk away from that relationship holds all the cards. The other person is going to move mountains to keep them happy, to keep them there. And many people are like, man, that sucks. It's a horrible way of looking at things. It's the truth, bro. Who's ever willing to walk away is the one that holds the power, right? The other person ain't going to mess up if they know the other person is going to walk away from them. I mean, it's just a fact. It's just a fact. A lot of these women who got these dudes and they're going on girls' trips, right? They're taking, girls' night out, girls' trips. right? Those women are willing to leave that guy. They can care less about that guy. That's why they're going out in the first place. I'm sure they love him or whatever, but they're like, man, she's out and about, man. She out here getting this attention, bro. She don't really care about you. She don't. But when you have those relationships where the women are like not doing those things, she's not taking girls trips, she's not doing that, especially early on. I can see you guys been together for 10 years plus, and she wants to go out with her sorority friends or whatever. You know, she's going to do it, but she's not going to be out all night. She's going to go early, make an appearance and leave because she wants to be with her dude. And that's another thing too. If you're with a woman who would rather be with her friends or be somewhere else without you, man, you need to look at that situation. You need to look at that situation, bro. Like, cause I know when I was doing my thing and I'm out having a serious relationship with a woman, she always wanted me with her. Always. Even if she was going out with her sorority sisters or whatever. She's like, well, look, drop me off here. I'm gonna go in here, have a couple drinks with them, and then, you know, and then we can leave. Like coming right back. Like, you know, I'll be across the street at the bar. Or they're like, come into the bar, sit at the bar, I'm gonna go over there with them, I have a couple drinks, and I'm gonna leave. They wanted me there. It is what it is. And when I had women who didn't want me there, and this is, you know, we're in maybe 12 months in, and she's saying, I'm going to go on a Miami trip with the girls. Okay. Am I going? No, I'm just me and the girls, just girls. No one's bringing their boyfriends. Okay. When she comes back, I'm gone. When she comes back, her little drawer is emptied out. I put all her stuff at her place. I've taken all my stuff out of her place and brought it back home to my place. I put her keys on her table. That's it. We're done. I'm not making a big fuss about it. It is what it is. You're not the one for me. If you want to go to Miami or you want to go to Ibiza or you want to go to Morocco with your girls and you don't want me there, you going on a cruise with your girls and you don't want me there, especially a cruise. Nah, I'm not arguing with you about it. I don't want to hear it. I'm done. Because every relationship I've been in, I'm going to say 90% of the relationships I've been in, I've been the one that's where I'm the one willing to leave. I'm the one that's ready to leave. And I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're grown up. The moment I realize you'd rather spend time with someone else, then all right, you ain't for me. Because I just want to spend time with you. I'm not saying I want to go out with the homeboys. I'm not saying I want to go out. If I'm doing comedy, I go do my set and leave. You're with me. I'm not trying to do all that by myself. I'm not trying to be out there. But you want to go be out there by yourself? Okay. With your girls? Okay. All your girls are single. You got a man. You got a man who's treating you right, doing the right things, and you want to go to Miami with them? They're all single. What do you think they're going to be doing? What do you think you're going to be doing? They're going to be trying to set you up. They're trying to get you to do dirty things. Why? Because they don't want you to be happy. So if you're dealing with a woman like that, brothers, you got to let her go. And if you don't let her go, when it goes bad, don't be mad, right? When it goes bad, don't get mad. Who's going to get mad at? Don't get mad at her. You know better. We telling you. We telling you. Don't get mad, bro. That's how the game goes. Brother Cody's talking about that makeup. Like, I mean, be careful, man. They look like Nicki Minaj with makeup and Jay-Z without. Logan Brown is a beautiful woman, no makeup at all, bro. She barely had makeup on the day I saw her, man. I was just really taken by how beautiful she was. Her eyes, man. Her eyes especially. I've never seen eyes like that before. I'm like, damn. Little shorty's bad as hell. I ain't gonna lie. She was, She was, And yeah, you're right, brother Penny. I don't apply pressure because I'm really not thirsty. Sister Red Lipstick Vibes in the building. What's good, sis? Hope you are well. Good to see you. And Sister Red Lipstick, she'll tell you, right? If you got two dudes pursuing a woman, you got one guy thirsty as hell, putting on a pedestal, doing all this shit, and the other guy is just being himself, I'm pretty sure she'll go after the guy that's being himself. The other guy's not trying to figure out what it is you like. We're going to do what you like. The guy's like, look, I'm about to go watch this football scrimmage. You want to come? He's doing what he wants to do. He's inviting you into his world. I'm going to watch this football scrimmage. Football. Okay, don't worry about it. Take care. And that's it. Now she's texting and calling. And he's just like, I'm busy. Whereas the other guy's like, whatever you want. And whatever she wants to do, that's what he's doing. I'm telling you guys. You have to prioritize yourself. Do what you want. If you're after a woman and she doesn't like the stuff that you like, how are y'all going to work, bro? How are y'all not going to work? Right? I mean, and that's the bottom line. And the thing is, too, like again, you don't have to beat her over the head with it. You don't have to be all crazy about it. Whatever. Say, listen, shorty. You're cool. You're fun. If y'all want to just keep, banging, that's whatever. You want to keep her in a rotation, that's fine. But if you're talking about being serious with somebody, I'm trying to be serious with this woman. Nah. She better want to be with you, bro, and she better be happy doing what you like doing. And then as the relationship progresses, she's gonna invite you to do things that she like to do. Hey, there's this artist zip at this, in town for just 2 days. Will you come with me to this artist exhibit because I really like this artist? Yeah, you should make time to go with her to do some stuff that she likes to do, man. Do that. Because if you say no, she's going to go with her girls, and that's what leads to the girls' trips. That's what leads to the girls' night out. So you should go. You know what I mean? Take interest in what she's interested in. Let me see what's up. Let me see if I like this a little bit. And be honest. I had a woman I was dealing with who was really into the opera. And I discovered that there are some operas that I like and there's some operas that I hate. And I told the truth. Like when you're talking about Faust and all that and those dark operas, man, those Germanic operas, man, I don't like them at all. Being there passed out, man. People be sleeping, right? But if you're talking about Swan Lake or something like that, I like those operas. The Nutcracker, I like that. You know what I mean? Pause. Right? But I like that. I was always up front. So it was like, cool. She likes ballet. And now she knows which ballets that I like. So it's like, cool. We got the Cure office in town and they're doing Swan Lake. Bet. I'm with you. I'll go to that. I'll go check out that ballet, and then as far as operas, what's the one with the clown? I forget the one with the clown. I watched that opera and that was pretty good. As you can see, I'm not really big on operas, bro. The only operas I like going to are the ones that Bugs Bunny did. If Tom and Jerry or Bugs Bunny did that opera on a cartoon, then I'll go watch it because I'm like, oh, I remember that cartoon. So it is what it is, bro. But so many guys are out here chasing women, pedestalizing women. You just heard Dan Bilzerian say, don't do that. And he gave you the reasons why. The same reasons. And if you want to talk to a beautiful woman, don't lead with how beautiful she is. She knows that. Right? Find another in. Right? Master your conversational skills. Pay attention to what she has on. She, like I said, she might be wearing something that's going to let you know that she's kind of nerdy or she's kind of brainy. She might be a brainiac, talk about some smart stuff if you can. Figure that out. But just don't go with, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Right? When I did talk to Logan Brown, I didn't talk about how beautiful she was. I did talk about her eyes. At the end of the conversation, I'm like, I just wanted to compliment you on your eyes. Like, I've never seen any eyes like that. I think it's very unique. And she was like, oh, thank you. I wasn't just like, oh, baby, your eyes are so beautiful, baby. I can see your soul through them things, girl. Ah. Right? There's many ways to holler.
Holla, 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 holla.
There's many ways to holler, bro. You know what I mean? Just modify your game to where it makes sense for you. So here's Logan Brown anyway. Okay, I know you guys heard me talking about Logan. Let me pull her up real quick. Just so you guys can see who I'm talking about. That's Logan Browning. And man, like I say, she's a cutie, bro. She is a cutie. And just natural, bro. Like, she wasn't wearing a whole lot of makeup. I was really impressed. Standing right next to her, bro. I was really impressed. I'm like, damn, shorty fine. Shorty is fine. So that's all I wanted to talk about today, guys. I wanted to keep this one nice, short, and sweet. When it comes to women, bro, when you guys put yourself on this path, you're trying to work your way out of the bottom 80. You want to be seen by women. You definitely want to do and possess those qualities. Do those things and possess those qualities that women find attractive, right? You know, you want to look your best. You know, so you want to hit the gym. You want to be in shape. You want to get your money up. Right? It helps, you know what I mean? Like you want to have your fashion together. You want to have your cologne on point and all that kind of stuff, bro. These things help. These things, like having a nice vehicle and all that, having your house in order, like, you know, having a nice clean home and all that, it smells good. These are just all the things that helps. But the number one thing that's going to put you over the top is confidence. And if you got your body together, if you're reaching those goals, you're going to be confident because you look good. You feel good, right? You got on your gear. Like I said, you don't have to spend $30,000 on a suit. You can go right down to Burlington Coat Factory, bro. You can buy you a nice suit off the rack, take it and have it altered, right? Take it, you know what I mean? They'll, you know, get some alterations done, man. Have it fit you just fine the way you want it. Get you some nice shoes. Again, they don't have to be Louboutins or, you know, some brand name shoes. Just get you some nice shoes that look good on you, right? Have your accessories on. Get yourself a nice watch. You ain't got to have on a Rolex or an Omega or whatever. Just whatever you want. Just you look good. You look good. You feel good. You confident. You know how to talk to women. That's the key. Confidence is going to get you in 100% of the time. Confidence. They can't see the car that you're driving. They don't know what tags are in your suit. They don't know who made that suit, right? They don't know who made them shoes. They don't know about your watch. They can't tell the difference between a Hamilton and a Patek, right? You know what I mean? They can't tell the difference between an RM and a Seiko. They don't know. But what they do know is the guy in front of them is charming. He has, you know, great conversational skills. He's making me laugh, right? There's no pressure. Like the guy's just chilling. He's breaking contact. Like, oh, I'm gonna sit here and talk to you for a little bit. Blah, blah, blah. It was a good conversation. All right, girl, I'll talk to you later. Bye. I'm telling y'all, man, when you're going out here and you're practicing, right? And I encourage all y'all to practice, right? Go out here and practice. You should every time you go outside, you guys should be saying hi and just chatting up women just for a couple minutes, like barely like a minute and a half. Just go up, chat them up. How you doing? Get their name. Just get these women to get you. How you doing? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. Hey, what's your name? All right, cool. Well, hey, you know, I'm saying it was nice talking to you. Take care. Leave. You in the conversation. You get up out of there. And if you just do that all the time, that's just your regular, bro, you're going to find yourself talking to everyone because it's second nature to you. It's going to feel funny if you don't speak. Hey, how you doing? How your mama doing type shit. And I'm telling you, you're going to be walking away like, okay, nice talking to you. Bye. She's going to be, hey, wait. What's your number? Do you live around here? Can I ask you something? She's going to run up. Every now and then you're going to get a woman who's just like, hey, what's going on? She's going to want to holler at you. To her, that might be her shot. Hey, I'm new around here. I was, looking for something to do Friday. And it's like, oh yeah, I know a place, what do you salsa? Do you dance? Well, I mean, I've done it a couple times. I know a great place not too far from here. They do salsa Friday nights. We can go there. If you want to go, I'll take you. Okay, here's my number. No problem. Right? And all that because you broke the ice. Learn how to break the ice, gentlemen. And don't be thirsty. Don't get excited because she's talking to you. She should be talking to you. You are the most interesting dude in the spot. Why wouldn't she talk to you? You have great stories. Right? You know things. And if you don't, go out there and experience life so you can get some good stories, bro. Go out there. Do some stuff. Right? So you can get some good stories. So I want to leave y'all with that. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. You feel me? Appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. But go out here and do the work, guys. Do the work. Bazarian said it. These dudes don't want to go out here and do the work. They don't want to do what it takes to be attractive to women. They're okay being invisible, and they just blame women for everything. Go out here, do the work on your conversational skills, right? Work on your fashion, and above all, work on your confidence. Be confident when you go out there. Don't be thirsty. These women are looking for men that are not weirdos. Every time I go out, women are talking to me because I am not a weirdo. There's so many dudes out here that just got the game all fucked up. Right? So don't be the awkward weirdo dude. Work on your conversation skills, period. Work on them. If you don't know how to do that, if you don't know what to do to practice, man, hit me up over here. Send me a DM. I'll tell you what to do. I'll tell you how to sharpen it up. I'll give you, tell you what kind of reps. It's like being in baseball, man. You got to have to just take these reps, bro. I was talking to, I was on Base Oracle's podcast yesterday, I think it was. He had some young dude on there called Lasagna something. He calls himself something Lasagna. This kid, so lost. So lost. I'm telling the people listening on this podcast, like, yeah, I had this guy was having trouble. I told this man, I need you to go out for this upcoming week. Every day, talk to 5 different women, just engage, break the ice, say hello, break the ice, engage in small talk, get their name and break contact, leave. No more than 2 minutes. It should be less than a minute and a half. Just real quick, say what you got to say and leave. Don't ask for her number. Don't ask for her social media. Just chit chat and leave. Do that. 5 women a day, every day this week. Right. And again, and this lasagna kid was like, well, why would you do that? Like, what do you mean? I mean, it doesn't make any difference because he's going out to all this negative shit. And I said, hey, man, lasagna, you play sports? You ever play on a sport? You play any sports? He's like, yeah, hockey and basketball. I'm like, all right, basketball. It's like, so if you go into the gym every day of the week and shoot 1,000 free throws, will you get better or will you get worse? He was like, well, of course you'll get better because, well, that's like a skill. Like, and so is conversation, my friend. Don't be like this lasagna cat. He's trying to figure it out. He just doesn't know. And I think this is one of the kids that comes from the participation award clan. Everyone gets a trophy, timeout generation. Mommy and daddy bulldozing all your problems out the way, hovering over you. There's a lot of guys out there who just don't know how to move in today's world. If you're one of those guys, what you got to do is cut all that loose and you got to get out here and fail. Go out here, learn how to talk to women. You heard Dan Bilzerian in the clip we just saw. It was like, yeah, he had women who simply wanted to come and smash. That's all they wanted. They just want to come over and get to him. And he messed it up. But it was fine, though, because he had more lined up. So he messed that up. But then the women over here, he didn't mess that up. So he was able to continue and build up his game and build up his understanding. And now he's in a position where, like, I get it. He's in a position now where he can say some wild shit and it's probably still going to work. Right? Michael Surtain talks about it all the time. Like, women that come in there like, ew, I would never sleep with him. Oh my God, he's so disgusting. Next morning, there she is climbing out of his bed. It happens all the time. And why? Why are they coming after him? Is it because of the money and all the jets and the exotic cars and houses? Nah, it's because of his commanding presence and his confidence. Whenever he's doing something, he's the man. And everyone around there is like, yeah, dude's the man. Women see that and they just get drawn to that, bro. You just be the dude. Be that guy. You're not thirsty. You're confident. You're not an asshole, right? But you're firm. You're not going to take any shit. Well, you're not going to take as much shit from, from the pretty girls, as most people do. So try that, gentlemen. This is how we get better. Try that. And here's the thing, too. Your communication skills is not about just women. Your confidence is not just so you can be good with women, but it can help you out in life, man. It can help you get a job. It can help you ace an interview. It can help you get a promotion, right? It can help you get into a situation where someone wants to work with you or bring you on board on some sort of project. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, you're really good with the women, man. Why don't you come in here and get your friends to show up at this event we're doing? We'll set you up in a booth. We'll comp you a few bottles and we'll pay you a little extra. You know what I mean? If you could bring in this person, and this person. If you bring in 20 beautiful girls, bro, we'll give you $500 plus the bottle. Okay. Right? Sure. Why not? I was coming out anyway. Why not get a free bottle? Why not get paid to go out and socialize? It happens in LA, New York, Atlanta, Miami, DC all the time. That's all promoters do. That's all promoters do. That's Michael Certain. That's all he does. Brings a bunch of beautiful women to the spot, and he's the man for it. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I am done. Tomorrow we'll definitely be talking about Joe Rogan's Netflix special. I think it's called Burn the Boats. I thought it was pretty good. I don't understand why everyone's hating on Joe Rogan. I thought it was pretty good. It was a solid hour. And tomorrow we'll talk about it, 5:00 p.m. And I'll tell you why I think it was a solid hour. Podcast Cringe had a lot to say about it. So we'll be kind of reacting to that. And there's also some other people out there that has stuff to say about Joe. I think Ty Rivera was a LA comic. I came up the same time he did. He's part of the LGBTQ community. Ty's a good, solid comedian. His thumbnail was negative about Joe Rogan, but maybe that was just a thumbnail kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure what's going on with that, but maybe we'll pull that up as well and look at it and see. It could be clickbait because he was saying it was bad, but I mean, like I said, Ty's a good comic. He's been around a long time. He knows Joe. We were all out in LA at the same time. I don't see why people are saying it was a bad hour. It was a solid hour. It was some good stuff, bro. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out, especially the alien probing bit. I thought it was really funny. I mean, everyone's talked about it. It's not a very original bit, but it was funny. I like his take on it. It was a really good take on that. And yeah, he has some, talking about words you can and can't say. He has some good stuff in there. I would have, we'll talk about tomorrow. I'll talk about tomorrow my thoughts on Joe Rogan's latest Netflix hour. I think it's called Burn the Boats. So tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. We'll talk about that. And that's that. Speed Shifter. Finally, some inspiration was good. Dude, I think I'm late. You are late, man. We about to shut this down, bro. So catch it on Team Replay. Let me know what you think. And that's it, man. I'm DL Saint. This is I Really Want to Know podcast, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll talk about Joe Rogan. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.